Welcome to the DG podcast. I'm your host, Stealthy. Joining me, Sexy Haas, and Meister is back again to give us his take. We're just diving straight into the review from last week's episode. Meister wants to talk about Cyberpunk, let us know how much he's enjoying it, and a few other things. He's going to dive into some bugs as well, and me and Sexy Haas are going to hear him out and then maybe jump in if we feel it's necessary to. And also probably give our final thoughts on it as well. So Meister, we will give you the floor. Let us know. You've been playing Cyberpunk, or you already finished the game?
I'm near the end. I got more than 100 hours in that game. Man, that game is just amazing. I don't know. I mean, the backlash it's getting, I don't think it's that bad. People are just not used to games like that nowadays. People are just picky, I guess. I don't know what it is, honestly, but yeah, I completely enjoyed Cyberpunk. I honestly didn't start running into glitches till I at least put 30, 40 hours in. That's when I started running into some glitches. There was a few story mission glitches, but they honestly were not that bad, man. It's quick and easy.
You had to reload your saves, or what would you have to do?
I mean, the only issue I honestly had with the game is the cache issue. All you gotta do is reset the cache. Anytime the game starts slowing down, I did notice a few graphical glitches where the graphic quality depreciates unless you clear the cache on your console. Obviously, the casual gamers aren't.
Yo, Zarik, what are you playing it on?
That's what I was gonna ask.
I'm playing it on Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
Which Xbox One?
The frame rate issue. I've played some of the older games on PC, the original Crysis, so I'm used to frame rate drops. You know, anybody that's a very heavy hardcore gamer has been gaming for a very long time, obviously is going to be used to the FPS issue. But as far as the game's story, the story is just amazing. The story is something new. No other game has done this kind of storyline, or not just the way the way the story builds up. You know, you don't really get deep into the story until like at least 4 or 5 hours in, and then you see the actual
side stories that are really interesting. But Meister, I want to ask you. You mentioned you're playing on Xbox One. Is this the original Xbox One?
This is the original Xbox One, not the Series. This is the Day One edition. This is the Day One edition Xbox.
And that
I've had the same day since launch, huh?
Okay, reports are that it's really bad. Multiple crashes on PS4 and original Xbox.
Crashed. I will say the crashes. I got a lot of those. The game would honestly crash. Since I started playing it, it's crashed on me I'd say about 8 or 9 times, but it's really not that bad. The game auto saves. You can save every few minutes.
Auto saves on the consoles. Okay, I didn't know.
I thought a lot of similarities. Yeah, I thought a lot of similarities with the Witcher engine, the Witcher 3 engine. Even the way the game saves, every little aspect. I mean, the backlash, honestly, all the backlash about the issues, I don't see how that can outweigh all the game's story, the gameplay, the graphical achievements in that game. The graphics are just insane. That's honestly the best looking game I've seen since probably Crysis.
Even on Xbox One?
Yeah, on PC I can agree.
How about you go play on PC and see what some real graphics are, bro?
Well, I haven't seen it completely on Xbox. I'll send you some video. I was honestly so amazed by that game. This is the first time I've actually used the Xbox video record setting. Outside of back in the Halo days where I recorded a few montages. But I honestly used the Xbox record clips and just how amazing the graphics were in some scenes. It's honestly the most impressive game graphically I've seen in a very long time. Of course, they've had the little technical issues, but I don't see how that can outweigh the amazing graphics that game has. And for them to be able, and even to try to push the older gen consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4 to that limit, you know, I give them props for that. Because they're being economical about that. You see, they could have just released the game on the new Xbox, the new PS5, you know, and stopped there. But no, they actually opened the doors to all the older generation consoles, which I appreciate that very much. So for that to go work against them, I don't see why people are mad about that. Do you want to go buy a new console and play the game?
You know why they're mad? You want to know? It's not just them. People are sick of these unfinished games that keep coming out. And listen. This kind of quality game back in 2004 would have never came out. Don't give me that bull, man. A top-notch game, it would have never came out.
The people were pushing for this game early. People wanted the game to release earlier and earlier. There was so much pressure on the companies. The company was not ready to release this game. It's just, I find it very disrespectful for people to push on this topic, and then when the game is released and it's not fully finished, to them backlash against the company. It just makes no sense.
If the people were pushing like that, yeah, I mean, I can understand. That's their fault too.
That's all that was on the news. Oh, Cyberpunk developer under pressure to release the game before the new year, and all. It's honestly the consumer's fault. This whole situation with their pressure with journalists and people, that's the people's fault. So I would say the same thing about issues.
What do you think about? They could have delayed it, but what do you think about meeting the holiday? Because they banked on that.
It had to be the holiday, man. Well, did they still bank after the returns?
Well, they have multiple lawsuits now. They're saying that news reports they did still make money, more than enough to cover the losses and the returns that they approved, and they did. By the way, return some people's games. Sorry, they returned the money and let them keep the game. They have not asked for the game back. That's what some people are reporting.
That's good.
Yeah, that's definitely a good step.
The game to me, it felt finished. It felt like a finished product.
You just said it crashed 8 times.
Now,
the game crashes.
On PC, I ran into bugs. I enjoyed the hell out of Cyberpunk. There hasn't been a game that I enjoyed this much, but there was still crashes that I feel were unacceptable and that they should have held it back to have that perfect game.
Correct. You just restart the game and you pick off where you left off. It's not like the game is completely unbeatable like Hitman Absolution. Like this game,
wait. Don't jump into Hitman yet. That's later on in the topic, please.
I know, but you see, the point I'm trying to make is there are games that were in 2020 that were made 5-6 years ago with detrimental glitches where your saves get deleted, where you can't progress in the story.
Well, this has been going on for a minute now. This is my point. I always talk about this. Unfinished games, bro. Every Ubisoft game, for example. Fallout 72. This game. Halo. Whatever. 76. My bad. Halo Anniversary. It was unplayable for 3 years.
I know.
3 years. That's my point. People. It's okay for people to release unfinished games, bro. Why? Why is that okay? You should definitely give them shit.
Yeah, okay.
I do give them shit, but
let's
the
move
point
on
of
from the subject. Let's give our final thoughts about
the only company that doesn't do it is the worst company of them all, Nintendo, that doesn't know how to do online play. Those guys. They do finish games.
Imagine Super Smash Brothers was online playable all the time.
Like really playable, and you could talk to people and you can add people and there's an actual ranking.
Yeah, well, I don't want to dive into Nintendo on this episode. Maybe
you can't even send a message with Nintendo anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's just give our final review grade on Cyberpunk and move on from here. It's good to have a different perspective. We've heard all the backlash, the negative feedback. It's good to hear someone who's actually enjoyed it, like Zerikmeister, and
I love that game. The game is unbelievable. I'm still playing.
So what would you give it out of 10?
A 10 out of 10. Outside the glitches, I'd give that game a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
The story is genuine.
With the glitches, what would you give it?
With the glitches, obviously,
he is reviewing it with the
even
glitches.
with the glitches, I give it an 8. With the glitches, I give it 8.
You're playing it with the bugs, so your final rating is an 8 out of 10?
No, honestly, for the game's design, the story, the gameplay, the graphics, I give that game a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
A lot of effort was put into that game. All the details, people don't realize the detail in the game.
I'm trying to understand how you're reviewing this. So you're saying if there was no bugs there, it definitely deserves a 10, but the bugs hold it back to an 8. Okay.
You see, people don't understand. My perspective is I'm not taking it out on the company. See, the developers did a really good job with the game. They didn't take any other style from anything else. They made their own genuine game, their own genuine engine. You can't sit here and discredit the company.
I got you.
Let me give my rating. I agree with Zerikmeister. The bugs do hold it back to about an 8. I'd be more generous, 8.5. Now, I wouldn't give it a 10 because the main storyline, although it's good, I felt that the side missions, the storylines in those were better than the main missions. And
really bad?
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot more of the side missions than the overall arc of the story. Now, the gameplay is good. It felt like Fallout meets GTA sort of game, and
that's exactly how I felt.
Even that wouldn't give it a 10. I would give it about a 9.
Why do you say that?
Overall, if it had no bugs, it deserves a 9 because overall, I've played like when GTA releases with Rockstar, they still have funner gameplay. The game like the things that GTA does is a lot better than Cyberpunk, and that might just be me saying that because I enjoy third person games a lot more than first person shooters, but yeah, that's my opinion on the matter. And the driving, I always enjoy GTA's driving. I did like Cyberpunk's driving. It was realistic, similar to GTA actually. Uh, but yeah, counting with bugs and everything, I'd give it an 8.5 overall. Zexy House?
I'm not in a position to review it.
Oh yeah. You haven't played it yet. You're avoiding
And
it.
I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it.
If it's all fixed, are you gonna give it a shot?
No, it's too late. They already screwed people over. I'm good.
So Zexy Haas, he's a part of the gamers that really mean business. Like 343's fucked up multiple times.
I got a quick question. Haas, have you played The Witcher 3?
On the Switch, I just played it. Yeah.
Witcher 3 on the Switch?
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
game.
can't imagine what kind of version they'd have on the Switch.
It's not the best graphics. It's not bad actually. It's really not that bad.
They have the full game on there. How'd they fit it on whatever game? Aren't they using cartridges?
I downloaded it.
They even got all the DLC on there. It's like the Game of the Year edition. It's badass. But anyways, Haas, is what I was saying correct? That you're more of the gamer that you give a developer a chance, they fuck up, you don't want to go back. You don't want to give them not a second chance. You give second chances, I understand, but you don't give a third, fourth, fifth.
It's not that. It's not that. Like right now, Halo's gonna be coming out, right?
Yeah. Halo.
And 343 is making it. Mm-hmm. Because they messed up in the past, what I'm gonna do is wait for people to try it out, make sure it's a finished game, and if it is, I'll buy it.
Okay. So
I'm just more like even this company. If they make another game and it's finished and people review it, I'll buy it.
Okay. But you're out on Cyberpunk. You don't care for it.
No.
Okay, that's good to hear. Zarikmeister, any other games you've been playing besides Cyberpunk? Have you been playing anything else?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, baby.
Okay, yeah, that's a newer title that launched last year, end of the year, and is on next-gen consoles. Tell us a little bit about Valhalla. Is it like Odyssey? Is it better? Like Origins? Like the previous games?
What I felt a lot they did with Valhalla, to shift in the Witcher lane. They tried to make it a lot more like The Witcher, I felt.
They've been doing that since Odyssey, I felt, but it seems like they're going more in depth on that. I have played only like 2 hours of it. I know
Origins
you've played
was alright.
Sorry?
Played Origins, and I honestly, after Origins, I didn't want to play the game again because I thought I was having expectations like Black Flag. You see, after I played Black Flag, I was blown away by how that game is, how they shifted their gameplay into driving boats and controlling a ship and fixing up your ship.
Now, how many hours did you play of Valhalla, and can you go in depth? Tell us how the gameplay is.
I got about 40 hours in, 45 hours in. I was honestly stopped on the gas in that game until Cyberpunk came out. I've been waiting for Cyberpunk for years.
Okay, so is it a grind? How is Assassin's Creed?
Overall, it's a very good game. I like the dynamics and the way the side missions are. How they added the order missions. Then they added those little scenes where you play as Layla. It's like a little platforming kind of puzzle thing.
That's the Out of the Animus story.
Exactly. You find these little anomalies just floating around, and you basically go do these little mini puzzles where you gotta climb. It's very neat. I thought that was a amazing addition.
I heard you play as her in the old time world. So that's what you're talking about.
You go back to the real world a few times. Okay. They have a nice few Easter eggs. They had an Easter egg where they mentioned COVID a few times. Where actually in the game world they have COVID as well, which was neat. I thought it was cool.
You'd say it's the best one since Black Flag, or
yeah, you can say that. It's not on par with Black Flag. I honestly don't think there's another Assassin's Creed that will blow me away like Black Flag.
Okay.
I honestly wouldn't mind if they released another one just like it, but I highly doubt they're releasing anything like that in a very long time. You could tell in Black Flags, they put a lot of effort into it. These ones they've kind of been releasing are kind of been like your Maddens. Every few years they do a few updates, and then they release
games. They take a huge grind to get through.
They do take a huge grind. I will say that. I won't take away from the story. I won't take away from the story and the mythology they use in many of them, but just the gameplay in Black
How is
Flag.
that? How is the Viking storyline? Is that good, or have you
Uh,
zoned out?
it's kind of a Norse mythology type of storyline.
God of
You know,
War?
you play as Ivor, and then he has his brother. It's like a conquest kind of storyline. But they're trying to like build a kingdom, and then you got Odin involved, and there's a lot of nice mythology in there. You can't disagree with the way the approach they took, and really
And it's
the way their
different. It's
story is
different from God of
really
War,
story
right?
driven. Exactly, it's really story driven. Even the decisions, the side missions, they had a lot of neat stuff you could do in that game. And I honestly can't say anything bad about it. It's a very solid game all the way
What would you
around. It's a
rate it
very
out of 10?
I'd give it about a 9 out of 10. I give it a
Oh
9 out of 10.
wow. Okay.
And the only
That's
reason I
good
say a
stuff.
9 out of 10, I wouldn't give it the full bag of beans is because they're still lacking in a lot of departments. They could have done it so much better. They have a lot of boat riding. If they would have had the ship, if they would have expanded a little on their gameplay, honestly, I just feel Assassin's just recycled the gameplay over and over and over. And I've been playing it since the
That's a
original.
good point.
Yeah,
I've been playing
they do tend to do that. They recycle a lot of their
exactly.
gameplay.
And most of their missions, their typical escort, take this, grab
I thought
that.
they
Like,
got rid of the escort annoying missions.
I think they took care of the escort. I don't think I ran into an escort mission, but the regular generic Assassin's missions. There are a
They're
few
not as
armor.
in depth as Witcher 3. That's for sure. That's what I think.
Oh, never, no. You can tell there's a lot of elements in it. They took out so many elements from The Witcher. Even the horse riding feels almost exactly like it. The way you ride your horse, the way it follows the
You're
wind.
saying it's very similar to Witcher. All right.
It's very, very similar. Even some of the how do I say it? Like some of their structural things you see in the game, it reminds me exactly of The Witcher. The little mine ore where you can mine, or not mine. The little ore crystals you break and pick up ore from. It reminded me almost exactly of The Witcher. I don't know why, but there's a lot of elements. Even the Norse mythology kind of thing, it kind of like it just has a lot of similarities. I felt. Even the storyline. I don't know. There's a lot of things all the way around. I spent a lot of hours.
They tend to. It seems like they tend to take a time period and try to master every part of it while adding a supernatural element to it.
Exactly.
Which they found their way with Assassin's Creed instead of recycling. Because back then they were recycling them way too much. Anyway, let me move forward with Tzexi Haas. He's well. First of all, what games have you been playing? Other than
Yeah, I was playing Witcher, and then but I'm mostly playing World of Warcraft and
okay, and that's
right
the new
now.
expansion, Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect title because I've been playing that as well. Tell us a little about it. What have you been doing mostly? PvE stuff, PvP stuff?
Honestly, the game is really good right now. I like where it is. I've been doing mostly PvP. I PvE once or twice a week, but mostly it's PvP. And the way they have the looting system for the PvP, they fix it. Like, it's amazing. And with PvE, the looting system is kind of bad. Like how low of drops there are.
Yeah.
And I literally PvP as a rogue. I PvP to make gear and use it for PvE.
Now, are you doing battlegrounds or arenas?
I'm doing arenas, but right now I'm doing mostly RBGs. It's just so fun. I love it as a rogue and RBGs, and you can get
battlegrounds.
Yeah, rated battlegrounds, and you can get top. So it's like 10v10. You get 10 people, and you go into a rated battleground, and
so it's random. They're not random people that you're joining up with.
No. And yeah,
this is expansion.
This is the Shadowlands, yeah.
Okay.
They released a new expansion for this game. I thought World of Warcraft was long gone.
No, it's actually really popular right now.
It got much bigger, huh?
The Kingdom Hearts, the only challenger right now is Final Fantasy 14, which is also really good. Tzexi Haas, I want to ask you. So you're playing right now. You told me you changed to Horde before the stream.
Oh yeah, I did.
So what's a decision for that?
Honestly, there's just so much more people on Horde than there is Alliance. Alliance is like, it's like whatever. It really does seem that like when you go on Horde, you find groups for everything.
You don't know how pissed off the Alliance made me. Like I went out to join a world boss. And I always keep my PvP on because I'm on a PvP fucking server. This is how pissed off I am.
The war mode.
Yeah, I go to that boss. I don't see anyone around me. I had to fight my way to that boss. There was elite enemies I had to run through. Heroic leap. I play as a warrior, and I look around. No one's here. What's going on? And then I start seeing the boss health going down, or sorry, not the boss health, the group raid going down as if they're fighting and healing. I'm like, guys, what's going on? Why don't I see you? What? And then one guy, after they killed the boss, he's like, "Oh, did you have your PvP battle mode on?" I'm like,
The war mode, yeah.
yeah, are you kidding me, man? So you have to turn it
Yeah.
off in the town and then fly over there. So you make sure you always ask the groups you're in, but I think they should not allow you to turn off
In a PvP server.
on a PvP server. It makes zero sense. Okay.
Zero.
There's my little rant. Besides that, any rating you've been doing? Normal heroic mythics.
Yeah, we're on heroic right now. We're on the last boss
Castle
of
of
the.
Netheria.
Yeah, we're on the last boss of heroic. We're gonna actually raid in about 2 hours right now.
Oh wow, so heroic.
That's a raid planned already, huh?
Yeah, I gotta say the new raid is amazing, and I only
Oh
did
yeah, I
Raid
love it.
Finder, and Raid Finder cuts off harder strategies of certain bosses like the portals. It removes certain elements that make it more difficult, and the dance. But I still enjoyed it in Raid Finder. Imagine on heroic how much better it is.
Oh, even on normal, it's pretty fun, but on heroic, it's more challenging and it's so fun.
Yeah,
I
but it
love
is
the mechanics.
time-consuming. That's the only issue I have with it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I raid 2 hours a day, twice a week.
Okay, let's go into review, or let's give it a grade letter because that's what we did with the older ones, and then let's see how it stacks up. So let me give you my personal rating first, or grade. So it is definitely better than BFA. I don't remember exactly what I gave BFA, but I definitely give this like a A minus or B. I I don't know if it's better than Legion yet. It's still too early, but it's definitely getting there. So I'd probably rank BC, Wrath of the Lich King now Classic because I've been playing more Classic and I've been noticing that I just want either BC or Lich King, and then I'd rank Legion, then Shadowlands. So far, what do you think on your side?
BC is probably my favorite, and it's probably nostalgia. Maybe when I play, I won't like it.
Where does
And
Shadowlands stand? That's what I mean. Like,
second,
what would you give it?
second,
Second.
second.
Wow. So you'd go BC Shadowlands over Classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What grade would you give it then?
If I'm gonna give it, what's the highest grade? A.
So I'm giving it a B. I said B or A minus. Sorry, B plus. That's my final.
I'll give it an A minus.
A minus.
Just because there's a couple things that aren't perfect. Obviously, it's never gonna be perfect. It's a huge game, but the PvP, I love how it is right now, and it's like a burst meta, and it's just so fun. It's so much more fun like that, where it's not dragging and dragging and dragging.
Definitely. Well, it does drag. It is time gated on the campaign. That's what annoyed me. But then I found out they did, or not found out. I remembered because I beat the whole BFA campaign, and they time gate you on that renown level up. But it's not as bad as the time gating was on
It's not bad
BFA.
at all, because if you make a new character, for example, they allow you to catch up to everybody else. You understand? You don't have to do it per week, only to renown.
They offer all the dailies. Okay.
Yeah. You can do it all in one day.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on here. Let's go into new titles I've played. I've been playing Hitman 3. And yeah, we'll get to Zariq's rant on Absolution that he mentioned in the beginning. But
This is the new Hitman. Right?
Yeah, Hitman. So basically, they did Hitman. Let me name them all. Hitman Codename 47, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, Hitman Contracts. I think that's when they removed the 3. I'm not 100% if they had the 3 in there. Then they went Hitman Blood Money, and then they went Hitman Absolution, and then they started the numbers over with. They made it episodic. Hitman 1 was episodic, had 5 episodes, and then they just went and released Hitman 2 and now Hitman 3. The first thing I can tell you guys, it is way better than 1 and 2 based on the levels they released. I like it that it's not episodic and they definitely focus on the story more. It is still short. It's not as short as 1 and 2. 1 and 2 I beat in 3 and 4 hours. This one lasted 6 hours, but it's meant to be short because you're supposed to play the levels over. So let me give you an example. There's a level called Death in the Family. When I first played it, I just went, killed my target, and got out of there. It literally took about 45 minutes to beat that level. When I went in the second playthrough, I found a detective. I took him out, I took his suit, and walked into the mansion, and the gameplay for that whole level completely changed. Because I became a detective now trying to solve a family murder where I didn't even... Yeah, the plot, I still had to take out the target, but you could do it by causing the actual killer of that family can take out your target that you want to get rid of, and you won't be blamed for it. Yeah, it's like you're in and out without a problem. Now, you also get a choice. You get to pin the murder on the actual murder. You get to tell the person you're supposed to kill who did it, and then I'm not sure the results of that, if she locks her up or not. But you get to pin it on her, or you get to say it was a suicide. So her son killed himself because he thought his mother died. But she didn't really die. She came back and then gathered the family together. So it wasn't really a suicide. It was another family member that killed him. Yeah, that's a spoiler. Or you can still convince her it was a suicide. And each choice gives you something different. Or you can pin it on the butler. And then later on, take her out a different way. You can poison her glass.
21 Dead End Drive. Remember, it's like 21 Dead End Drive. Remember that game?
But it was so badass because I had to like break into their rooms, search for evidence, go question them, and then sneak through and find the real killer sitting there trying to create a poison to go poison the target. It's insane. And some of the levels are amazing. Like the first level is Dubai, and it's huge. These levels are massive. They give you that shortcut. Yeah, they give you that shortcut to beat it in a half hour, but you haven't experienced nothing. There's so many different pathways. Now, what I want to rant about is it had an advertisement on there that I can transfer Hitman 2 progress into Hitman 3. So it counts that it's completed. And I did this on my mobile phone, and the website was so bad that I couldn't read the disclaimer that said if you do this, it will wipe your Hitman 3 progress. So,
what?
Yeah, so I did
You didn't
that.
tell me all that.
Yeah, luckily I beat Hitman 3, and then after that happened, I just deleted it. But I was so upset. I went and tweeted to them, like, so pissed off. I'm like, guys, what the, like, thanks a lot for this. Now I just deleted your game. I was going to rebuy Hitman 1 and 2 to play on PS5 and have it all in one collection. The cool thing is it unlocked the trophies for Hitman 2, but I was still disappointed. It wiped 14 hours of Hitman 3 progress, completely gone.
That's your Hitman Absolution.
Yeah,
I played that game, got all the way to the slaughterhouse level, loose.
Yeah.
And it wipes out all my saves. I was playing on the hardest difficulty. I was trying to get all the achievements. I go all the way to the last level. And it's so funny because
you're on the hardest
8 years ago or 7 years ago, I had done that. And I played that game on the same setting. And then I forgot about that glitch. 7, 8 years later forward, I downloaded on Xbox One the remake, and I tried playing it, and the same thing happened. Or no, this was Xbox 360. Yeah, this was Xbox, and it deleted my thing. It deleted my things again. I lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. I tried loading the game, and the crazy thing about this is it shows the progress that you are at that level, but it won't just let you start the level over and play it. You can't even progress. You got to start the whole game over. Which is even more.
Wow, that sucks.
It sucks. It does, because IO is a great developer who's now a standalone developer. They're no longer a part of Square Enix, and
yeah, I mean,
they gotta get that situated. Like if you were reporting it happened on Absolute.
The game is 10 years old. How have you still not fixed that issue?
Yeah, now nothing happened. Here's the other problem with them. They're hosting the game on an online server. So let's say you do the challenges offline, they do not count towards trophy progress. You have to be connected, and you have to be doing these challenges, and there's like 52 challenges per level, for example. Some might have 40. And
so it's like the challenges in Assassin's Creed,
yeah,
where you do challenges.
What tripped me out is when it deleted my shit, why couldn't I go back on the server and revert it or re-download or recheck my old progress? And even contacting them, it wasn't possible. I don't know why.
That's crazy. That's just unbelievable. You know, I would say, okay, if I stop there, but, you know, even the new Tomb Raiders, what's the last Tomb Raider that came out again? What was it called?
Shadowlands. Yeah. Shadowlands. Or not Shadowlands. What am I saying? Shadow of the Tomb Raider, yeah.
Yeah, same thing happened with the saves for that game. It deleted my saves. It shows the progress that I got there, and I'm there. So when I launch the main save, it launches, but it only lets me continue. It even shows that I got 89% done of the game, which is ridiculous.
That's happened to me too many times, Rick. I remember Dark Souls 2 that happened as well. But that one we were trying
remember that? Remember what I did to my character?
Yeah.
I had to sub all over it.
It sucks.
It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous.
Anyways, I want to ask you, Zerikmeister, any games you're looking forward to playing in 2021 that aren't released yet?
Aren't released?
Yeah, me and Haas did that on our Game of the Year episode. We talked about our most anticipated.
I will say I am looking forward to the new Fallout they're talking about with the new engine they made.
New Fallout? I didn't hear this.
Yeah, they confirmed the new Fallout that was coming out.
Oh, wow.
And engine that I'm completely looking forward to. And they said they're working on a Witcher 4, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That,
now, those are way down the line. Anything?
Yeah, those aren't 2021. Yeah, those aren't 2021.
As far as anything looking forward to, there's really nothing, honestly, that really interesting. There's a few next-gen games. There's a Dark Souls-like game that was coming out on PS5. And there's other few. I will say there's nothing that really made me go like, oh, I want to get the new Xbox.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to...
See, honestly, there's nothing, usually, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or what's going on, but there's nothing really that really caught my attention and really, made me want, enthusiastic. I just say that the next-gen launch titles on this generation is very weak, and most likely due to the coronavirus. So I'm not going to criticize anybody about that.
Well, they don't have to be next-gen. They could be current-gen. Like Resident Evil 8 is what I'm looking forward to, and it's coming out on PS4 and PS5.
I was kind of the old school Resident Evil guy. The Resident Evil 2 story, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 1. I just felt over time the stories.
You're boring Haas here.
No. My bad. I hear him what he's saying. What do you mean he's boring me?
Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah, I saw you on, so I had.
I was gonna say if we're talking about games that are coming out for sure, and it's not 2021, Metro Prime 4 by far.
Yeah. Well,
but anyway, you were saying about Resident Evil. You were saying about Resident Evil that you were
drifted very far from the original story. I don't know the way they.
So I don't want to dive into all these.
What's your favorite Resident Evil?
My favorite Resident Evil is still Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2.
4.
4 was amazing. See,
amazing.
4, let me tell you something. The reason I didn't say 4, even though 4 was the funnest Resident Evil I've ever played in my life, gameplay-wise, it's the funnest Resident Evil.
For sure.
They scripted completely from the Resident Evil story and everything.
Yeah, but at that time, that game was, bro.
It was the best game ever. Remember it was
amazing.
We tried to beat it in one day. Remember that?
Yeah, that game is fun.
It was a really good game.
Sorry, which part?
Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, you were sitting on GameCube. I remember.
We went out of our way to get that GameCube. We went all the way out of our way completely just to.
Yeah, it was sick. Yeah, so was it only on GameCube?
Yeah, it originally came out only on GameCube.
1 year timed exclusive. No, it came out eventually on PS2 and then.
I know it did.
GameCube for life.
Okay, so Zerikmeister, you're not looking forward to any games for 2021?
Not really, honestly. Nothing yet so far.
Battlefield 6, the next Call of Duty. There's Elden Ring.
Did you just say the next Call of Duty? I'm sure they're gonna have 2 Call of Duties in 1 year.
Elden Rings, honestly, that was the game I was looking for. That's the game I was talking about.
The next Call of Duty?
No, Elden Rings, that other game, Elden Ring. It's called Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah, that's with the one they announced George R.R. Martin is helping closely with the universe.
Yeah, that one looked good. It looked good,
Okay. Besides that, I'm looking forward to RE8. Haas, anything coming out this year?
Yeah.
Any games?
Can't think of.
They just announced Diablo 2 remastered. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be nice to play. I haven't played through that. That's the only Diablo I haven't beaten. So I hope it has online. Anyways, let's.
I was gonna say Oblivion. I think Oblivion's coming out. Well,
or
was it
expansion for? Elder
Scrolls Online. That's probably what I'm looking for the most. Maybe Far Cry. We'll see.
Far Cry 6. You reminded me. I'll mention that later. Well, actually, since we got on it, I've been playing the new Far
Cry. Is that where they have Gus Frigg on the cover?
Yeah,
from Breaking.
Yep, exactly.
He's a main character now.
I think he's the villain. Far Cry does a thing where they always highlight the villains, and they did an excellent job with Far Cry 3 on that. I'm actually playing through all the Far Cry games right now, just to catch up. But anyways, let me move on. Microsoft just recently made the decision to charge $60 for 6 months of Xbox Live. They got a lot of fan feedback, a lot of backlash.
And then they went back on word on that.
What's the reason for this? Why did Microsoft?
Why did it get so much backlash?
Because people don't want to pay $60.
Price doubled.
Yeah, the price.
We'll pay $120 for a year of Xbox.
Wait, yeah. How much is it right now per month?
Well, the yearly thing was $60 per month. I think it's like $15.99 for like 2 months. It was or 3 months.
Okay, so they went up on price. Okay,
they went up double. Instead of $60 for 12 months, they made it $60 for 6 months.
Okay,
and reversed right away. Is it because they're losing money with all these free games they're adding to Game Pass for only $10 a month or $15 for Ultimate? What's going on? Why did they make that decision then reverse?
Shouldn't they should do something where if you want Game Pass with Xbox Live, $60 6 months. If you don't want Game Pass, $60 for 12 months, bro. They gotta make some money.
So is that the reason they're trying to make money? They thought
that would make sense.
Okay. You know, with the pandemic going on, you think that they're making more money. With the pandemic going on, you think they're making more money because everybody's at home just buying Xbox Live. So I don't see what the price increase would do.
So if they are making more money, what's the reason for this? And remember, it's gold, not Game Pass. That's the ability to play online and get. I think they get 4 free titles, 1 from each generation, or 2 from Xbox One generation, and then 1 from regular Xbox and 1 from 360. Or sometimes it's a mix and match. But Zreekmeister, what's the reason here? If they're making money, at least on their software lineup, maybe they're losing console sales. What's the reason to higher the price? Why would...
If you don't know, I mean, I haven't bought Xbox Live in a while. I honestly, only times I used to really go out of my way and get Xbox Live is back when we used to play the Gears and we had the clan battles. Remember? Yeah. You know the deal.
Let's go!
Top 10 on GameBattles.com.
Hey, even when you lose, you won.
Wallah, huh? Wallah, on Game Battles. Remember, I had to get a TV tuner for that.
No, they never cheated. They never used to put them.
No, I'm joking.
They're actually on the top first page. I still remember that. You had a solid team.
Who did you have? Did you have Ross playing with you?
Yeah, it. No one's gonna know the players now. Back then, there wasn't. But
you don't remember me?
Let's not jump too much off subject.
Okay. You're good, bro. Go ahead.
Like, here's my thought on it. Let me know if you guys agree. I think someone higher up in Microsoft who deals with some sort of financial side of things decided that, hey, let's charge more, let's throw it out there, and he made the decision, and the head of the Xbox division didn't make that decision. He's separate, and I think whoever was higher up made that decision, and he couldn't go against it. And then when the backlash happened, then he came towards that guy from Microsoft, that higher division. Like, I'm not giving a name here, but you know, Phil Spencer's the
is this what you heard, or are you just making this up?
This is what I think happened, because Xbox division is separate from Microsoft division, even though Microsoft owns it. Maybe some guy was looking at the finances of it and wanted to higher the price. But then again, why would he dip into the Xbox Live side? So it must have been from the Xbox division, now that I think of it. But I still think it wasn't the head of Xbox that made this call. I think someone maybe from HR made this call and then saw the backlash, and then they reverted on that. Because it's happened before. But what do you guys think?
I don't know. It could be. It could be. I honestly didn't even give a shit, even though you raised their price.
So you would have been happy to pay that price.
I honestly wouldn't have been happy, because I wouldn't even buy their Xbox bullshit Live. I only buy it when there's a good game to play online. Anything else, it really has no use for me.
So
that's the honest.
You get it for the free games with gold. You don't play online.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
I think you're the same way. Okay.
No, I'm not the same way. I pay for it every month, and I've been paying for it for 7-8 years now, and I don't even know. It's always on. I have it on automatic pay.
Okay.
And I didn't
So
even
you would've
know
been
about that.
upset. You would have been upset if it went
I
up.
would have been, but I'm one of those suckers where you can screw with me and I wouldn't even know.
They got you good, huh?
I was about to pay 16. Thank God people were outraged, bro.
Yeah. So
Welcome.
we don't know the true story here. What was going on? Maybe it was just the whole Xbox division, and they're like, "Hey, let's try to bring back the losses from everything we've been offering," because they offer day one exclusive games on Game Pass.
I mean, if they're
I
losing
know
money,
it's
it makes sense. Either stop doing all those game,
or higher
the
the
day one
price of Game
releases.
Pass. Don't hire the price
Yeah,
of gold. Why would you hire the
exactly.
price of
Higher
gold?
the price of game tech for
Yeah,
sure.
because then you're competing against Sony at a higher price and offering less value because Plus
Really?
games have been better than Xbox Live Gold games. So higher your Game Pass price because that has value. That I think that's better than PS Now at this moment. And I don't have PS Now because nothing interests me on PS Now compared to Game Pass. Game Pass, I can launch it up. I see all the new titles come out for Xbox. I'm playing it. I don't see the new titles on Sony. That is a huge win for Microsoft. They should definitely higher the price on that. I don't want them to. What do you guys think? What do you, Zerikmeister?
In my opinion, I think they overcharge on that Xbox Live anyway. Outside of Game Pass, which is pretty good, the way they give you all those games free. I don't know. I think it's too much. There's really not that many big online games outside of Call of Duty nowadays. I don't know what else people play, honestly.
Okay, Zexy Haas ending comments. It looks like you guys are all tired, so we gotta wrap this up.
No. I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, if they're losing money, bro, I'll support Microsoft, baby. As long as I don't gotta switch to PlayStation, I'm good. That shitty system.
So big Xbox word fan over here. Big words. Okay, let's call it here.
I'm joking, by the way. I have all three systems. I'm just messing.
Yeah, but you favor Microsoft.
Yeah, I never even knew about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that much. What is it going from $7 a month to 10? Who gives a crap? But that's doubling actually because
Yeah,
it's per year
what do you
60.
mean?
I'm tripping out. So it's going from 5 to 10. It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's like my coffee in the morning. Who cares? I won't drink coffee for one morning.
This is for gold, though. This is to play online. You want to double?
Whatever,
I
bro.
don't agree.
I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Listen, bro, just stop drinking coffee for one day and you'll be good.
I don't think that's how it works. But okay, let's wrap it up here.
But if they one more thing, if they do want to go up, they should go up slowly, like Netflix. You don't go from $5 to $10.
Let's
Go up $1.50 maybe.
That's a great point, Haas.
Imagine your fucking mortgage doubling overnight. Uh-huh.
Without telling you.
I'll be fucking pissed.
Excellent points. I want to thank you guys for joining the podcast. Really good discussions here.
It's always good, baby. With the crew.
Thanks. It's always good to have you, Zerikmeister. Okay, besides that, I'll be posting some more videos. I think the Medium should already be on there by the time this episode is up there. And that's just a horror title, and it's exclusive. I'm playing it through Game Pass. And then I think there's also Cyber Shadow. I'm going to dip my hands into that. I'm not a real big fan of those retro games. I know Flying Ho is, so he'll probably be playing that as well. And other than that, yeah, catch us on next episode where...
Hey, bro, stop yawning. You're making me yawn.
Yeah, it's pretty late here. So thank you guys for joining us. Please subscribe, like our channel, help us get up there.
God damn it!
What are you gonna do live? What is going on here?
You never watched it before? Who's
Yeah, I did, of course. It's a hit
the
on
Bill
YouTube.
O'Reilly video?
I did. That's
Why
right.
isn't my camera working? Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay, never mind.
You had it covered. It's all good. I'm gonna use the Do It Live for a blooper. That was perfect. This is a test right here. I'm gonna stop it, then restart it. Hold on.
Shut up, Big Z.
Hey, Haas, what up, baby? We live, huh?
Yeah,
We live out here.